Today we're going to sand some plastic. Websy builds some plastic. Websy builds some plastic. Sand some plastic.
All right. Hey, how's it going? Yo, it's Philip. How's it going, buddy? Check it out. I don't have just Gundams today. I pulled out one of my models that I did. Isn't that cool? Look at all that detail work, buddy. That's awesome. I did that. It's called an XJ3 Stealth from the books. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the books, and I read Star Wars a lot. What do you think, guy? Thanks for the compliment. Here goes another one of my bases. Check them out. This is one of my, and then here goes a fully custom scene base. Oh, my little dragon fell. So check that one out. I made this pegboard myself. Welcome in, everybody. How's it going? I gotta get the show started real quick. Don't mean to yell at you over on TikTok, but I am live on a bunch of other places along with TikTok. So here we are at Websy Builds. The intro played. Everybody saw it. That's great. Here we are. This is what we got going on tonight. This is kind of what we're gonna do. It's kind of like an introductory night to the new section of builds that we're going to be working on for the next couple of shows. So tonight on Websy Builds, we're going to be talking about where we're at with this build right here. We're going to be talking about this finished one that I have right here off to the side. And then we're also going to be talking about the diorama that I'm working on. And I've got this out from the diorama as part of, so you guys can get a visual of what I'm talking about with how much work is going into the diorama. But so everybody knows, I'm trying to keep you guys on both, everybody on both the same camera. Let me just move my other camera. All right, there we go. Now I got everybody on the same camera. All right, so the diorama build is going to be this kit and this is what we're looking at for the diorama build. And we're just going to be going step by step through each one of these kits and talking about them and where we're at, where we're going. And then after we get through all this, we'll start doing a little bit of work and chit-chatting with you guys and stuff on all the platforms. So welcome to the show, and buckle up and get ready to go. So this first kit that we're going to talk about, we are almost done with it. We only have 2 cranes left and this armature right here that's hiding. It looks like it could be done, but it's not. It's just hanging out, hiding on there. I don't know how to get it off right now, though. It's on there pretty good. Look at that. This is a really well designed base. I really like this base. Okay, so this piece needs to be redone. We're going to be redoing this piece. And we're going to be redoing this piece. And we're going to be redoing this piece. So these are the final pieces. I totally spaced on this one. But so these are the final 3 pieces. This is a support crane. This is a lifting crane. This would lift like the arm. So this actually goes like right here. And it would spin around this way and it would lift the arm up. And then, believe it or not, once it's done being built, it will still do this. Oh, where'd it go? Is it locked? It's locked, I bet. Let's see if we can get it to. I don't know how to unlock it. Hold on. How does it lock? Oh, that's right. Okay. The lock is hidden right here. So yeah, that's how you unlock it. And then you can close it. So it goes up, so you can make it look like it's lifting. And it's got some expenditures. Platform here for guys to stand. And then there's a platform up here for guys to stand. There's a spot for you to hook up like a counterbalance. I'm probably going to design one and put one just to make it even cooler. So that's what we got going on with the work we have to do. But let's talk about it. So besides the kit, because this isn't the kit that's going to stay here, he's just a placeholder for now. So let's talk about the build. So everything on here had to be painted, and we're going to start by looking at the bottom. Okay, everything should hold together except for that weapon. All right, so we're going to look at the bottom. You see the bottom is all these different sections. There's a center section, and then it has like an outer ring. So that's how it got painted. It got painted in those sections first, and then when you flip it this way and look at it, my guy's gonna fall off. Let me catch him. All right. So now when we look at this section on the inside, you can see that all those panels were painted separately. And now on the backside, you saw those circle things. Each one of these circle pieces right here is a plug. And these circle pieces, you can pop those out and they unplug, and you can move the base parts around and customize it a little bit more with where you want the cranes and everything to sit. Along with that, you can also customize these rails, and you can put the rails anywhere you want them as well. I prefer this one right here. And then these things over here on the side are for holding your accessory for your kit. To show you size and everything, there's a little person. Everybody can see the little person right there that I placed. So that's the next level, and then after that, you have to paint all these structures to match. And then I decided to actually do a lighter metallic on the top. So let's move this again on these platforms. So it's a lighter metallic in the middle on these little platforms, just to add that accent. Like when you're looking at it from an angle, you can clearly see that pop of different color. Along with all that, I also made inside here. So we'll get a zoom up of this. We made the bottom a dark iron. We left the gray for it's like a spindle to create tension. And then there's the two tiny silver pieces and then the yellow safety bar. So there's a lot of detail. There's a lot of time and taping and painting with all this. It was so fun. I loved it so much. It's been such a great build, and I'm so excited to get back to working on it. This guy over here is the reason why I wasn't working on it. Just so you know, this is a competition build that I just finished up over here. That it's on camera on YouTube. It's not on camera on TikTok. I can pull it into the camera view. Hold on. So this guy right here. So I built this guy, and we're gonna say for a competition. So he's almost done. I just got to get his hands and weapons finished. And once his hands and weapons are finished, or accessories, I should say, hands and accessories. Once all his accessories are finished, I will drop him off for pageantry style judging. So that's what will happen with him. And the judges will judge it all. Once everybody's entries have been filled in, they'll judge that guy, which is super awesome. But back to this base. So along with that, as you go through, you're going to find like parts like this that's a little bit different. This support structure here, it had some pistons in it and stuff. So what I did was I separated off those pistons, painted them up, added the silver, gave it a nice look. And then it looks painted and nice from every angle. That's one of the things that's really nice about it. So it is really a 360 or a centerpiece look. It has that nice look to it. That's one of the things I like about it, is that it has that nice centerpiece look to it. So that's one thing that we're looking at right now. So that is, and then there is that high detail that we're all looking to see, right? So everybody wants to see. I like seeing all that high detail. All right, so then we'll get in here. And then to talk about the project we're going to be doing, I'll take this apart and we'll get that set over here. Okay, we can take that out of the way and get this placeholder out of the way, and we'll talk about this next base. All right, now this is one of the bases that I was showing everybody else tonight, but we're going to get some good lookings in on 8. Hold on. But before that, let me Yeah, fix this camera angle just a little bit. How's that? Everybody can see. There we go. We're seeing good. Sorry, my other camera was getting block view. All right. So this base is fully painted. So even the back, I painted everything. It's all painted, so everybody can see. And this was a really nice, easygoing paint job and scheme and everything. We'll give everybody a good zoom in on it. I did put water decals in it, so it does have water decals on it. It has I used a metallic top coat special stuff, and it basically puts glitter over black, and it's such a fun. It's so fun, and the more you put of this top coat, the more silver it turns. So it looks it looks dirty. It looks like dirty metal instead of it looking like I don't know how else to explain it. It just turned out really cool. I really like how the effect I got and everything. So that's all documented. I got that, so I can repeat that effect. The nice thing is the base. You can still like get your Gundam to like lay down and stuff in this. Like I did build it, and and there's even a little hidden Web C builds down there. Check that out. I hid that down there. Yeah, not showing off. Just uh, that's my brand. I gotta put my brand everywhere I go now. So that's that's what I do. And so the pegboard was the most tedious part of it. I'm a real big fan of this store that I put down here, but it's kind of blacked out. It's like shadow effect down there. I was working on making my own decals, and I did kind of do that. Um, let's see, how far are we into the show? We're almost to 15. All right, at 15 minutes, we're gonna do like a little commercial announcement, and that's and then we'll get right back into everything. So this is everything. So these are just accessories from different kits, but what I did is I just took some metal wire and bent it just like regular pegboard that you would have on your wall to hold your own accessories and everything. And I made it mine, and I took before I painted the pegboard was all white, and I mapped it out like a grid, and I just sat there, drilled it out with a pin vise. If you don't know what a pin vise is, I'll show you so everybody knows. This is a pin vise, and a pin vise usually has a small drill attached to the end of it, and it's a hand, so it's got a spindle here. You put it in your palm, and uh, it spins like that, and it's a pin vise. And so what I did, I had to use that, and each hole was drilled individually. So it took about 30 seconds a hole. So you can imagine if there's over 100 holes, it just took an hour, or 2 hours. I think it wasn't super like but it was pretty cool. And then I didn't really detail any of the weapons too much, except for like when I did first get my airbrush and stuff, there was like a few guns or a few accessories that I was like, hey, let me practice on. So here's one of my accessories I practiced on with a couple airbrush things and stuff like that. So it fell. Oh no, I don't want to lose this. So I think that was right there. Something like that. Yeah. So, yeah, and that's how easy they'll fall off too. So, and then on the other side, you can see that the pegboard works. Then that's pretty much it. I did do water slide decals, and I did do some of these accent parts and everything. Water decal there, accented this stuff. So that's this. So I'm gonna move this here, kind of keep it on camera for everybody as I move this one into camera for everybody to view. Now, this is a diorama that I'm working on. This is the next thing we're going to talk about, the difference. Now, what I did here, this is all airbrush work on this side. Now, over here, there's no airbrush work. This is all hand work. Hey, user, that's awesome. Thank you for the compliments. Thank you for being in the show. Stick around. I'll tell you about it. And so this one, all I put the model together, and then I was getting ready to set this base scene up here. This is the exact same thing. If you look at the two, they are the same kit. Okay. Just with different accessories right here. These things are really cool. There's other pegs that go in here to hold other things and stuff. So I used them on this one, not on this one, on this side. And then over here, I put one more. There's, some water that's supposed to be falling down here. So, and then I'll give everybody a good zoom in on this one so you can see some more of what's going on in there. Was it focus? There we go. Now it's focusing. Give everybody. I know you. Did he detail that yet? Nope, not yet. So this isn't 100% yet because it's going into a big diorama. So everything's got, it goes in by step, but I want to leave this here raw, and like this is raw right now too, because I might need to scuff this up to get more of this glue to sit here to be the waterfall. So then I can paint it blue later. So that's another thing, is you got to plan your stages and your steps. I cut these will get, I'll make like a little puddle. I had one before. I didn't really like the way it was shaped, so I cut off what I didn't like, and I kept the areas that I did. So these are going to be the start of the where it connects into the diorama fully. And the same thing with here where this painting is and everything, all this water painted on, I'll actually continue that onto the diorama as well. Now this is an acrylic. This is basically a hobby acrylic that I used. Um, and it won't be like the $2 bottles you buy at like the hobby store. What I'm talking about, this is like it's for canvas painting, but it's considered a hobby canvas. It's not very expensive, very cheap. Like you can get like the 10 colors for like $10 in the little pack of canvas. They look like they could be oil paints, but they're not really oils. They're actually just water-based acrylics. Well, what you do is you just thin them out really good, and then use different brushes. I use three different kinds of brushes when I do this type of work. I use a I use a coarse hair, or what's known as a boar's hair brush. I use a fine brush, and then I use a sponge. And the sponge is, I consider it a third brush, because you can brush with it or you can dab with it, and so you have two different options with the sponge. As to where other brushes, the coarse hair brush, I use it as a dab as well. I don't use it as a brush. But then when I want to create like long strokes of a color, I'll use my regular brush. So everybody, you just pick the tool that works for you. And as you can see, like there's like lighter colors is the boar hair. I just dab it on, bam, 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 just like that. And then the darker colors I brushed on, or I took the sponge and I smeared it with the sponge, as I rubbed it past. And then what I did here before I put the blue on is I tried to make it look like wherever the water could splash, it caused green moss to start growing. And so the whole thing is, that's what it's supposed to look like, is all the water splashing around here caused all this vegetation to rapidly take over and start disintegrating. And so it's going to look like the building, once it's done, the building's going to look like it's collapsed in on the Gundam this way, and the water's going to flow down and through here. And then there might even be LED lighting and stuff in this, because I have a lot of that stuff laying around. So that's definitely a possibility on what's going to go into this. I was talking with other people today about finishing up the back of this. This won't be seen. Once it's done, you won't see this at all because it'll be too tight up close against its diorama wall. However, I know it's not done. You know it's not done because I just showed you. So maybe I might finish it so I know it's done. And then if you do ask in the future, I can be like, yeah, 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 I finished that up. So we can think about that. So that's what I did for that one. And here's a little guy down there to give you like a scale size of what we're doing, how big that thing is. Isn't that crazy? And yeah, so that's basically it on these action bases. And now we're going to talk about other things with these bases. So when you're done with the bases and you use them to display your kits, this one is pretty much it's a static looking spot, right? Like it looks like you're only going to put it like this. It doesn't look like you're going to do a whole lot to it. And some people that that's fine, you know. However, the nice thing about this kit and this build and this base is you can actually play around with it a little bit. You can actually bring some life into your kit, but not this kit specifically. Let's uh let's bring some life into it, should we? All right, we're gonna take this guy, um, and we're going to make this guy look like he is stepping down. And now you have brought life to this rather dull kit, this rather static and stationary build. You're like, wow, now it's got a totally different dynamic. Now it looks like it's coming the whole scene starts to come to life more now that you see the Gundam on the base. Now we'll give it a different rotation so you can kind of get a better idea on both cameras. There we go. All right. So it's kind of, that's the whole thing. Now you can also imply more the we can, or what is it, make the kit and the scene more involved with each other, make it look like he's holding on to the wall, see, make it look like he's coming out ready to fight right away, like his base is being attacked, which I mean in with that guy it happens quite a bit, but you know so that's one thing. This is how you can add liveliness to your display. And this does fit on a rotating deck, rotating top. So if we were to, oh, sorry, I bumped the phone. All right, so let's pick him up, not move his legs. Let's put this on here. Let's get him back on here so he can fall off. And there you go. So now, very fragile, but now he's on a rotator. When we turn it on, it's kind of noisy. I'll let you guys see it rotate like that for a second. He'll probably fall off when he gets around to the other way. It has like a glitch in the tape in my rotating table. I tried fixing it. I don't know what to do. It's also really noisy. They said it wasn't supposed to be noisy, the people I bought it from, but whatever. You just got to deal with what you get sometimes. So that's why like my videos always have music over them when you see my table, is because I don't want you guys to have to hear that awful sound all the time. It's like I'm sorry, guys. So there you go. That's the whole thing. So that's how you add liveliness to a thing like this. So sometimes when we're looking at it and it looks so still, so stuck, like for this one, I added the waterfall, and that's what adds the motion in this scene and gives it life, right? But this scene doesn't have that, doesn't have a bio or an organic anything. It's all mech. So when I'm thinking about that, that's what I think about. And so some of my kits, whenever I do a new kit, I'll pose it as if it's coming off of this, as like this was the place where it used to get built at. But now that other kit that I showed you guys earlier, the other base, that's where it's going to be like, oh, my Gundam's coming alive from there. But this one, this is going to also, this will still be like a sneaky peeky or something. I'll make this like one of my preview stages where I'm getting ready. Like I'll have the kit blacked out and this side will be shining with light and you'll just see the silhouette of the kit or something. I think that'll be a cool little gimmick I'll do with future builds and stuff like that. So moving on, that is how you get a very stationary kit to become a lifelike kit. Now, the other thing is picking this specific style of base. There's a couple different versions of this. I believe this is the scene base one. I believe this is the original one, the scene base one is my favorite or whatever. And or if not, it's 5. It's either 1 or 5. Okay, I've bought so many now, you guys. Please forgive me. I don't keep all the receipts, so especially not for scene bases. Um, However, this is everything you get in the scene base. Is all these clear parts. This has a twisting mechanism to lock it so you can move it up and down. Over here on the back, it has a switch lever where you can move the guy up and down like this, as so, and then you can lock it into place wherever you would like it to be locked, which I don't want it up at all because this kit's very fragile. So we're just going to have it at normal. And then the only other thing I can say, that the one thing I didn't like so far about this kit is in this centerpiece, this little center thing comes undone a lot. It falls through. So that's one thing you might want to watch out for on this one. And then when it comes to how I prefer to pose and where I put this, I like to center this as the front part. This is the front plate right here. And I like to have the heel, or the what we would call the toe, actually. I like to have the toe as the heel and this to look like the front of it. And then for the kit, I prefer the floating in space, floating forward look. So usually my kits look like this. They're usually, they have a forward float to them, especially this specific Gundam. He liked use space a lot for his tactical advantage. So in the cartoon, I just watched Double O, so this is like the first time I'm building a kit after watching a series, and I really like that I darkened him up and made him greens and purples instead of leaving him oranges. The oranges were cool. However, I really like the coppers with the greens and purples. It's so cool. I know you guys over on YouTube can't see the whole kit right now. Hold on. I can always scooch guys up a little bit. All right. So yeah, the but to give life to your kit on these action bases, your kit doesn't always have to have life. You know what I mean? I totally went past my commercial time. So, anyways, we're gonna hit up this commercial segment real quick. It's really fast, you guys. I promise. It's nothing crazy. If you're watching on TikTok, if you go to my bio, my sponsor is linked in my bio. You can head on over to my sponsor page. They just sell the kits that you see built. You know, if you're interested in this type of stuff, it's hobby stuff. Head on over to ClarksvilleHobbyDepot.com. And if you head on over to ClarksvilleHobbyDepot.com and you let them know I sent you by using the discount code WebCOfficial, you'll get 10% off a purchase of $25 or more. Let me let you in on a little secret. If you spend like $200, man, that's like $25 off, or $20 off. And right now, shipping's kind of expensive. So if you save up and pile this first order and use my code, you'll save a bunch. You'll get free shipping and you'll be happy. My sponsor, they package their products with care and love, and they make sure they get them to you as fast as they can. They ship all over the nation right now in America. So head on over there and check them out. And that's ClarksvilleHobbyDepot.com. And for the discount code, it's WebCOfficial, all capital letters with the dash between the B and the C, just like you see it on the screen. So head on over there, check it out. That's 10% off for $25 or more. All right, I'm done with it. I'm out of there. I'm no longer doing the commercial. Love you. Love Clarksville. Everybody's doing great. Now we're back to the show. WebC builds. All right. And so, yeah, that's what we're doing. Next, we're going to be going over these pieces. I'm going to get this off screen so we can concentrate. I know, sponsored placement, right? So here we are. We got these three things, and we're going to talk about these things, right? What we're looking at is when the factory made these parts, they had a mold. And in the mold, there was a bunch of lines where the two pieces of metal collected together like this, and the part was in the middle. Okay. Well, the person, the company, not the persons, the company that makes this product, their molds had a bit of a seam gap. Now, they either broke off or took off most of whatever the overfill was, but it left a line all the way through every piece of the product. Every piece of the product. So that's our job now, is it's put together, and we have to go through and see what on this thing is what we don't want to see when it's finished being painted. And for an example, this is a finished product. Okay, this is what it looks like when it is done and fully painted, ready to go and to be used. Um, all the different pieces. Really nice work, right? I really like the detail that they put into this model. It's not just me and all the painting I did, because everybody can paint this. It's just this model has some really nice detail, and I really like it. So these are all parts from the same model, and I want to pull out all that detail for all these parts too. So, like I said, when we see all these seams and these nips and stuff, all that, I got rid of all that on here. I explained earlier, like, see, I sanded it all down nicely. The problem is I had to keep these two pieces separate when I painted them, and putting them together and sanding them afterwards could have caused damage to all this other stuff. So there's sometimes when you're building a model, you cannot get rid of all the seams. It's not possible, especially when it's something like a scene base, and this is part of the structural part that holds up your whole kit, your robot. You don't want to lose that. You don't want to lose any integrity with this. So if you have to sacrifice a little bit of visual displeasure sometimes for that integrity to keep your kit safe, I think we should. However, you can disguise all that ugliness with all this prettiness. So always look for all those details and make sure each detail is getting sanded, so you're cutting out all the, there's no seams, there's no marks from the pipes or anything. Nothing has like lines going through it where there shouldn't be, or where it would look unpleasant. You sand all it out, get it all sanded down, and then it paints up real fast. So that's the goal. So now I'll show you on this one. We'll zoom in and you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see all those flaws now that I was talking about. So here, all along this pipe and this piston, there's that line. I'm going to spend 5 hours on just this line right here, getting this all touched up and everything. So that's the intensity that I'm going to put into it. However, I am going to get, once again, I'll get a good quality in return from it. So when a part like this is together, I can't prevent that seam from being there. But what I can do is I can sand these two pieces together, so that when I do pull them apart and put them back together painted, they'll be they'll be the same level, and there won't be like a gap or anything. I won't have accidentally sanded one side more than the other side, so it'll still be connected. That's one thing you would always do. And then, so it's just a bunch of check marks going through. I already started doing some work on this piece here, actually, on the claws. I started doing some removal. See, I started removing some of those lines and stuff. I just took a really sharp hobby knife and just slide it in there and scrape left and right, scrape back and forth a couple times and agitate the plastic. And you'll figure out different things. I try not to do any sanding of this. I would really prefer to like have to deal with something that's easy to vacuum up, like these, I don't know what, like whittled, it looks like whittled plastic when you're done, but I would rather have to deal with little bits of this whittled plastic. This, there you go. See that? It looks whittled. Get that off screen real fast. But so that whittled plastic, I'd rather deal with it being whittled plastic over it being, what is it? Dust. I don't want it to be dust, because I don't want to breathe this dust in from this plastic. And I don't want my kids or my wife or my dog or my cats. I don't want anybody else breathing in it either. I mean, I'm right here working on it, but if they're just walking by and some of it's floating up on them, I'd rather them be able to, just go like that real quick with a couple pieces of, instead of it being dust that they suck into their lungs, and wouldn't be fun. So that's the slow process. It's very painstaking. And you can take this like fully apart. It's just, remember, everything you take apart, you got to remember how it goes back together. That's why I'm making these videos, so I can see everything while it's put together, so I can just go back and reference from those. And there is an option for this. You can make this crane so it pivots at the, that sounds I thought it was horrible. I thought that was awful. So I found that piece. That piece holds it. I like this version. This looks better. So that's what we're doing. Yeah. So hosts. Uh-oh. Hosts. Hosts. Nudge. Oh. Yeah. So yeah. And then that's about it. That's what it looks like. And so we're just looking at, like, look, I want to get rid of all that. That's tacky. I'm going to leave this one in the middle here because that looks like it looks like it should be there. But then these two pieces on each side, I want to get rid of that. I want that to be there. And then I got to clean up this right here. Maybe sand this up, make it look nicer, give it some angles or something to make it look like it's got some dimension instead of it looking like it just doesn't look perfect. So, other things I could do, now I've been thinking about it, is I could just get rid of, I have a drill. I could get rid of the insides of this. I don't know if that'll look good though. But then I could also get rid of the insides of here too and make it look hollow like it would in real life. Now, what do you say? I don't know. I'm going to paint this black first and then tape off the inside. These stripes will get painted yellow. Then it'll get taped off again. Everything will get painted gunmetal. And then it'll get taped off again. And then the pipes will get painted silver. Then those will get taped off. Then I'll paint it blue. And then I'll untape everything and give it a top coat. So that's kind of the process, how I went through. Because remember, everything's going to end up matching this. So this will match this at the end. So that's the goal. All these different things. I had to take and tape off everything, figure out what I wanted to be what color. And then when I do the final wash on it and everything, because I plan on doing a top coat. Hold on, let me get a drink of water. And I plan on doing a final top coat. And when I finish that final top coat, what I'll do is I'll wash like a panel liner. I'll make a panel liner of some sort, either grease or something, and I'll put it in a few spots where I feel like it's needed. But yeah, anyways, how's it going? Hey Derek, thanks for stopping in. Gundam Chris, hey, stop. Thanks for stopping by and checking it out. Yeah, here I'll show you the you just came in, so let me show you the base that it goes on. So this is the base that it goes on, the crane, and this piece goes here. So this is what it looks like. Thanks for stopping in and checking out my work. I got some accessories falling down over here, but yeah. So the accessories work good, and that's what it looks like. Painted up. Look at, like, it's my catwalk. That's what they're called, catwalks. So that's that one. And here's the other one I was showing everyone. Here's the other base I was showing everyone. So I think this one turned out pretty good. Pegboard and a Gundam stand. Pretty good. So I like this one for 1/100. It's really nice. It's a good intermediate for 144 as well. There's a whole bunch of options on here. This one's good. And then this clear one that I was just showing off is a good one for just display, just one piece display. This classic clear one, I believe it's either Scene Base 1 or Scene Base 5 by Bandai. So that one's really good. I like this one the most. This is like my biggest one. But this new one that I've been working on, it's got a big shelf presence. So if you don't have a lot of shelf space, that's the only thing I'm gonna say. Like, I have a big hand. My hand's over 8 inches, and so this thing it's bigger than my hand. So if you guys are checking that out, I would definitely look at that. That would be something I would look into first. And I like the options. The other one that I like a lot is I used it for a big backdrop for a big LED kit that I built, a master grade high new Gundam. And it's up on my display. I can't pull it down right now, but it's up on the display. It's got like 20 other Gundams attached to it. That's how big this display is. I was able to like make it the size of one whole shelf basically and put all my other Gundams on it. So in order for me to like pull that down and show everybody all the coolness about that Gundam, which I'm gonna do soon because I'm sure everybody would really like to see that thing turned on. I would. I'd like to see it turned on because I haven't turned it on in over a year. I did over 70 hours worth of LED work on that kit and stuff. It's really cool. I have photos somewhere that I could just load up somehow, uh, for sure, of it turned on. But it's so much better if I have like a live video of me turning it on and showing everybody and stuff. Especially now that like the competition I built it for was like over 2 years ago now. So very excited to have different stuff like that. Anyhow, Gundam Chris, I'm gonna have to see you a how do there we go. Oh, I am following you, aren't I? Okay. I think I'm following you already, Chris. So that's awesome. And thanks for stopping in and checking out stuff. This is a little self-built project I had. Also, I built these types of things, and it actually like goes up and down, collapses. It like extends pretty high. So, um, my current run on time for building has been 4.5, going on 5 years. This summer will be 5 years. Right before the shutdowns, I like literally picked it up the year before the shutdowns, like in 2019. So it's going on 5 years now, and it's been fun. I love it. Love being back into the building and stuff. So uh, my whole setup and everything, I've been just slowly accumulating and building up, like my workstation and my paint booth and all this. Like just this past week, I this new shelf right here that you can just see the edge of in my computer up there. This shelf right here, I just put this in last week. Like I'm still building and editing this workspace. That's how much I'm into doing this and all that stuff. And uh, but I did take like a good 13-year break. I think something like that. It was like a 12 or 13 year break that I took from the hobby. But before then, my father started me when I was like 9 or 10, taught me how to make model cars and stuff. And I just took all that knowledge that I remember from being a kid and learning how to do model cars with my dad, and making that the basis of my abilities to do that. And I can also show you a model car I've built, so you guys can see. Here is a car I've done. Let me get this out real quick. Hold on. There we go. All right. So here is, so 71 Mach 1. It's a little getting dusty, but it's been on the shelf for a couple months now. Super detailed, you know, really nice car. This was a fun build. I went on a road trip with my wife and her parents this past summer, and uh, yes, it is very therapeutic. I totally agree. Custom for nearly 3 years. So, and so here is, yeah. So we picked this up. I made it to Hobbytown out by Cleveland, Ohio. I think that was right. We were out by Toledo or Cleveland. It's Toledo. I think. Yeah. No, I had to ask the missus. She's better at remembering some of those things. And so yeah, we went to the shop and I did like a little video walk around and everything. It was pretty cool. And the guys, they were really awesome. They were like, "Oh man, you're cool, dude." And I was like, "Yeah, you guys are too." So just all that detail, all that silver work and stuff. That's hard. That's the hard stuff. So yeah, and I've been doing it for, so I took a break from the modeling for, raising kids and working and stuff, and I just wasn't on my forefront or on my mind, and got back into it, and here I am, uh, doing a whole bunch of stuff. Mostly Gundams right now, but I do like to do cars, and I have done one Zoids action figure, uh, robot dog type of thing. So it was pretty cool. And yeah, the whole part of it. If I wasn't doing this, I'd just be playing video games. So, you know. William Moses, thanks for stopping in. Oh, excuse me. You guys are so awesome. Oh yeah. And so that's basically that. And figuring all this out. Just gonna go here. So yeah. Um basically what I do is I just sit here and look at these, and it doesn't take much work, like you see, just a couple motions. You're not trying to do a whole bunch of damage, but you're not cutting or hurting anything. You're just using a flat edge of a piece of metal, and you don't even have to use the blade side. You can use the whatever side. And all you're doing is you're just trying to take that down, break down that ridge right there. So it's all just, and the more times you swipe across it, the more flat you'll get it, and eventually you'll make the. It's a horrible sound. I still play games and stuff. I build a lot more than I play games now. Definitely do. I I usually wait till a game is like $5 or free before I play it now. I'm not one of those. I used to be one of those people like, oh, a new game came out, I got to spend $60 on it. I'm not that guy no more. I used to be, and I've kind of mellowed out on that. Now for me, it's there's only a few games that I kind of get excited for, like the new Pokemon game or um, the newest cool survival style game. I might get excited for that game or something, but other than that, I'm not really getting excited for a game. I don't know why. I think I'm just being at the generational age I am. I think there's been quite a bit of gaming, and I find myself going back to those same exact games over and over again, even on the new gen consoles and stuff. Final Fantasy 7 and 8, um, Mega Man, and uh, Madden and Tiger Woods PGA. Just those types of games. I find myself keep going back to those games. So I don't not not upset with the new stuff. I haven't really found anything that really just lights that bar for me anymore. Destiny used to, but I don't know, kind of fell out of that game as well. It's a good game. I'll still like turn it on once in a while and run around on like Gambit or something and annoy people with one of my old super combos that nobody uses anymore. And they're like, "Where did this guy come from?" It's like so it'll confuse people. Like, why is this guy using an old combo from an old strategy set? Oh, and then I own them because their new combos aren't designed to play against that strategy set. It's really fun that way. It throws a boomerang in the way the game is played for a little bit. Arc 2 is definitely the game that I'm waiting for right now too. That is the game. That's why I was talking about strategy and survival builders and stuff. Yep, Arc is definitely the game. And so yeah, number 2 is, I think they say December. I think, right. They said December, so hopefully it comes out in December. Otherwise, I think we're gonna have to wait till like April of next year if it doesn't come out in December, like they planned. So I think that's like the market block. I think they'll wait another quarter before they put it out if they don't meet the holiday deadline. Like December 21st would be a good deadline date for them. I think. I'm not sure what their day is, but definitely. Oh, thank you for the likes. Woo woo. Don't pay no attention to like my live goal or anything. That's purely just I I don't even know why I put that up there. They were like, "Here, do this." I was like, "Oh, okay. I like donuts." And then I was like, "There you go. Somebody wants to spend $3 on me. They can spend $3 on me, but you don't have to. So don't worry about it. It's not like that's not why we're doing the live. We're doing the live to talk about these awesome bases that we have options to use and how to paint them. Right. So like I was saying, I use the a water-based airbrush system for this one, and I used a acrylic hand paints for this one. So like your options are endless on how you paint. Like I probably wouldn't recommend oil painting it though. Always throw someone in. I'm following some likes. Oh yeah, hey, always if I see you live when you get your lives, I'll definitely throw you some likes too. I hit those likes until that thing fills all the way up. That's what I like to do for everybody that I stop by and watch them. I'll definitely hit that until the heart meter fills all the way. And be like, you gave them 88 likes, or you gave them 66 likes. So, yep, exactly. So super awesome. Let's see where we at on the showtime. Oh yeah, we're coming up to an hour. Woo, 1 hour. Is anybody chatting with us? Do we have any? We have some chats in the chat box over here. Let's see what these guys are saying. Uh-oh. Monzilla. We're doing good, Monzilla. Thanks for stopping in. All right, Monzilla. Yeah, I think that's Monzilla98 over there on YouTube stopped in, checked in with us. Yo, don't forget to hit that subscribe. Every Friday night, we'll be doing that's what we're doing is every Friday night we're here from 8 o'clock to 9:30, and then once a month or twice a month I do another show called the Late Night Load, and on that show we play video games just like what we were talking about. Kind of got sidetracked, right? It's very easy for me because I'll jump right into talking about video games. Oh, you're supposed to be talking about plastic models though. Video games come up. So it's 2:50 a.m. in the UK, so I'm gonna call it a night, buddy. Nice chatting with you. Okay, thanks, Chris, for coming by and stuff. Have a good night, and yeah, it's it's kind of late. Hope you catch the work train in the morning or the trolley. Is that what you guys ride to work? The trolley. Have a great one. And, uh, so yeah, and yeah, so there we go, and then working on that. Oh, weekend off. That's good too. It'll slightly be my weekend after this too. Weekend with the kids. So yeah. Everyone. Quick looks. Let's see. We can also get creative too. Do oh yeah, that's crazy. Can we slow that down? Oh yeah, we can slow it down too. We play all different sorts of things. That's nuts. I like it. So, all right. And yeah. So moving forward, guys, over here on so everybody knows, that's all I'm doing. I'm just slowly working on this, getting this one and this one and this one all detailed up and ready to go for the next stage, which is paint. Paint. Super easy. I'll give you a rundown of some of the tools I use. I will not demonstrate using them while we're on camera, but I'll give you a rundown of some of my tools. I have a flat claw plate board. This claw plate board holds sandpaper with tape on it. It's got double-sided sticky tape on the paper. Anyways, this sandpaper is really good. You can use a paintbrush, a dry paintbrush, to brush the sandpaper off after use, and it's usable again. So I use that sandpaper. Another tool I use is I have this glue stick with the same adhesive sandpaper on it. This gets you into those curved spots that makes a nice curved sanding tool. This 1,000 grit, only 1,000 grit with the curved sanding tool. Just to keep your scratches little. Next tools I use are these Display. Um, this pie, yeah, I'm not gonna try and butcher it too much. So this is one of the sanding sticks that I use, and then these are my secret weapons. These little things, these Marytons, these are my secret weapons for getting um, kit's ready for paint. If you're going to paint your kit, I recommend getting some of these. And if you don't paint your kit and you use these, the cool thing is the backside is a high polishing thing. So if I take something like, I got the spoon here. So if I want to put like a high polish on something, I could just do this and it increases the polish like a lot. So that's one of these. These are my little cheating tools. So if you're not going to paint your kit and you're just going to use it, you can use this to polish, your plastic up real fast. And even if there's streaks in the paint, you can get a nice clean polish. But this is a high enough grit that you can do some really awesome work with that. So I like doing that. So yeah. And then I like to keep everything, all my sanding tools in like a little bucket that I can just pour out and pick up when I'm done doing those things. Thanks for stopping in. I'm talking about painting scene bases and accessories and action bases. That's what we're talking about today. Here are some custom action bases that I have purchased and painted here on camera. I'm talking to everybody who's coming into the rooms. Thanks for coming in. I'm having such a great night with all you guys coming in, stopping by, saying hi. It's been great so far. We're moving along, and yeah, I've actually started doing a little bit of work on these parts and stuff, getting some things cut off, some things scraped and everything. Like I said, I really don't like sanding this plastic. Always watch when you get certain kinds of plastic. Check what kinds of plastic they are. Hey, everybody that stopped in, say hi. Say hi. Yes, sir. Sorry, excuse me. Yep. So that's what I'm doing. That's what we're working on, and moving forward. This one's going to be fun. Fun, 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 fun. So, right, there's a button. There's a little line that goes all the way through. Then each one of these has a line that goes through all the way, all the way, all the way. So that's going to be the best. So much fun. This one, same thing, but like I said, I've already started working on it. I started up here. I kind of like, if you start up here and then you just like work your way through, it kind of makes it easy. So as you can see, I like did that one already. Like it's smooth. So when I paint over it, it'll be smooth looking. I also got to sand it still. I'm not going to sand it as much. I have these wet sand sponges that I showed you that I'll be able to stick underwater with the part and sand it while it's underwater, and I won't have to breathe in the plastic. So that's what you have to do when you get to these. Like when you get it all, you get it all ready to go underwater and sand it, right? Then you break it all down where you can, and then you sand it, and then you dry it. You wash it off right there and dry it at the same time. So the wet sand and the washing will happen at the same time, pretty much. Interesting. Yep. And I also use I use a coarse toothbrush as well, or a rough toothbrush, to help with the scrubbing of dust and particles and particulates. And I use just a couple drops of dish soap, and that is how I wash my parts up to get them ready to go into the um, all the other fun parts. What is it? Into the paint booth, onto the runners, onto the clips. Um, you know, your patience, your time, all of that. This is kind of what it accumulates to. These little guys right here. If you want them to look awesome and you want them to stay nice looking while you're making another one for them to pose against, you you do that. They always look cool when they're on their bases. So he was like one of my more recent ones that I just finished. So he sits on that right now. And then because usually the Barbatos that I did just finish, like just finished before my competition, this Barbatos, he sits up here on my workstation with me and hangs out because he's super awesome. This is also this is a metal frame Barbatos that I built. I bought what is it? It's like a, how do you say it? a third party expansion. Yeah, there you go. That's the right phrasing. Yeah, I don't like using the phrase bootleg if I don't have to, and I don't feel like it's a bootleg because they're not selling me a whole product or anything. They're selling me replacements to make it enhanced. So I feel like calling it a bootleg kit would be wrong, but an upgrade, a metal frame upgrade, third party kit is a good way to call it. However, when you're looking at it, all those metal parts really look nice. That's metal. That in there, that shiny piece, that's metal. This shiny part, not metal. but but this shiny part right there, that's metal. So there's metal all over the kit, all the way through, all the way down to right here. These feet, those are metal. And then all the way up to right here. Uh-oh, what fell off? A piece fell off. Oh no. Oh, I see what happened. Not happy day. Okay. Yup. Tragic. Barbatos's waist is falling apart. Okay. Don't worry, it's super easy to put back together. This kit's so nice. I really like this kit. Um, so with action bases, uh, depending on how you're gonna display your kit, would definitely dictate what you're gonna buy. If you have lots of display room and you want each kit to look really unique and stuff, you're going to buy these big ones. If you don't have a lot of display room, you're going to buy these smaller ones where you can stack them together and create a collage of your kits, just like you would create a collage on a poster. You're going to do the same thing on these base things, and we're going to pick up one of my cameras and I'll show you on TikTok, but I won't be able to show you guys on YouTube what I'm talking about right now. Because I don't have a mobile camera to use on YouTube at the moment. It's all stack. Ah, come on, go where I need you. Oh no. I have big hands. So, one of the things I recommend everybody with large hands doing is getting tweezers. Because with tweezers, you can make those little adjustments that you needed to make to fix your problems. All right, my friend is back together. It's so difficult. I'm gonna have to figure that part out. Anyways, the metal frame makes him so much more stable. This is about how I like him to be posed, except for this hand. I like this hand like kind of like back like that. Yeah, there we go. And I like him up here by the computer with the blue lights. Turn on his paint job. Um, yeah, the blue lights that I installed, they turn on the paint job for this guy. So he has this really cool paint job. And yeah, I don't know if you can see it. Kind of. It's better over here. Anyways, um, yeah. Before we get out of the show for the night, because we are at the end of the show, um, I'm gonna head on over there and turn on the sponsor banner one more time and let you guys know about the sponsor. Go to ClarksvilleHobbyDepot.com and use the discount code WebCOfficial for a discount of 10% off a purchase of $25 or more. And you can stack that with a few kits, a couple tools, some sandpaper, some paints, whatever you need. Clarksville Hobby Depot's got you ready to go. And if you head on over to Clarksville Hobby Depot, if you're on TikTok, go to my link on my bio for Clarksville Hobby Depot, and that'll let them know I sent you from TikTok. If you use my discount code WebCOfficial, it'll also let them know I sent you from anywhere, any other website. So head on over to ClarksvilleHobbyDepot.com, use that discount code, and yeah, that's about it. If you're not in the hobby world, you don't want to take advantage of that discount, that's okay too. I'm not here to force you to do anything. I'm just hanging out, having a good time. Here we are, WebC Official. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of the show, the end of the talk for the night. That's what I'm going to be working on for the week. Getting this base ready to go and finished. And then, yeah, I'll be dropping off my competition sometime in the next week or two. I'm really excited about that. And I'm just overall just excited about, moving forward with all these great builds that are coming along. And I'll be looking for the next competition. Hopefully it'll be a summer competition. I know there is one going on that I'm not really interested in, just because I'm not really into Megami device, so I'm not really interested in it. But I think it's you take a Zaku and a Megami device and you put them together, and whoever does the best version of that wins. I'm not into Megami device, so I wouldn't win. I'm not very good at those paints and stuff, and you know, I'm not really into crossing humans and Gundams in that fashion either. There's a section of anime that I'm just not a fan of. Like everybody is. Everybody's got their own section, and mine is, I don't have to be a fan of uwus. I'm not happening. So that goes with those. So I'm gonna stick to my Gunpla, and I'm gonna look for a Gunpla competition. And if I find one that we can all enter, I'll let you guys know about it. We can all have fun. Until next time, it's Web C Builds.